Alright, how's it going, everybody? I'm going to do a playthrough of Rome, Fate of an Empire, and I get to use some of the new deluxe components. So this stuff isn't quite finalized yet, and I don't have everything, but I will quickly talk you through the new stuff that I get to play with here. So you can see the dual layered board here. The player mats, the character mats slip into this dual layer board, so you can have the just the one board, and then you can swap in and out the leaderboard. This, I don't happen to have the resource board, but this is also going to be dual layered. I also, unfortunately, don't have the wooden tokens, so we're going to have screen printed wooden influence tokens as well as trade tokens. What else? But what I do have is the two player mats. So this is for the territories and developments, and you can see it's got the spaces marked out for you, and then actually has a copy of the capital printed right on the mat. You can see I have the old, or I guess non-deluxe enemies on the board there, and that's only because I don't have enough of these. So this is what the enemy tokens are changing to. They're going to sit right on the cards like that, and then like that when you reveal them. So I'm really excited to see what that looks like in practice, because I can just imagine, seeing red all over the board there and being able to more easily see what enemies are up to. And then we've got the market playmat over here, and I'm also really excited about this because I tend to play with the market vertical to me anyway, just because you can see I'm limited on table space here. And so this mat is actually going to be, it's going to accommodate, I think the flip side is going to have the horizontal market. So like if you want the market board above your empire or whatever, you can do that. But here it's got the vertical board and it's got the tracks going north and south. One thing that I'm seeing that we might change yet is having the river flow away from you here, because I'm going to be, the flow is still marked as going bottom to top. But anyway, that's all stuff that we'll flesh out yet. And there's going to be boards provided as well, so I'm not playing with these, but there's the market boards with the recessed spaces for the cubes, so you can use those as well. And actually, the idea was people could do any configuration they want. You can set the cubes right on the mat like I'm doing, or you can use just the boards, or you could set the boards on top of the mat as well and sort of get the best of both worlds there. Okay, I think that is it for talking through the deluxe components, and I'm also going to play with Livia, and I'm going to play with the new advanced rule for Livia. So one thing that occurred after we released the game is some players found Livia a little bit too easy in terms of gold generation, just getting in that cycle of using her waste not ability. I'll read that for you. Once a turn, you may sell an advanced attribute from your hand or discard pile for 3 gold. Sell meaning you can trash an advanced attribute card in your possession in order to get that gold benefit. And so people would get in this loop of just buying the cheaper attribute cards, and then so every turn on like a 1-turn delay, you had really consistent and pretty good gold income from right off the bat. And as anyone who has played the game a couple of times will recognize that the gold engine is a really key piece to being able to play well. And so that was a little bit of almost a cheat code. It's not that it broke the game, it's just she played more easy than I had intended. But what we've done is we left her alone. Some people really were like, well, don't nerf Livia for the next printing. And so we haven't done that, but what we've done is provided an advanced variant for her in the back of the rulebook in her section, so that if you want to play the character more as I intended her to play when I was playtesting it originally, then you can do that. And so what this rule does is it changes her waste not ability. Now it reads, as a when spent action at the capital, trash an advanced attribute card from your hand to gain 3 gold. So that changes her in a couple of ways. The most significant being now it's actually a new action at the capital, and so I have to, first of all, be there to influence it and use an influence token and spend it in order to use the action. And then in addition to that, it's no longer an option to sell the attribute from my discard pile. I have to actually trash it from my hand. So the idea being with this character, what I'm going to try to do anyway, and how I played her during playtesting, is I'm going to focus on buying a lot of advanced attributes. And I'm going to also probably fund my empire and all those purchases of advanced attribute cards with loans, because you can see her status and power ability here. Once a turn, you may pay off a loan in your hand for 2 gold or discard pile for 3 gold. So she has a really fun arc when she plays out correctly. Or if I play her half decently, it's a fun arc where we get highly leveraged in the middle. We'll probably get pretty deep into this loan deck. And then that last round is kind of a flurry of just trying to get out of debt and selling our advanced attribute cards in order to pay off our loans in that last round. So we'll see if it plays out like that. Okay, I think we're almost done with setup here. So I've got my 3 gold. Just so I have read it here for you, her last ability is Wife of the Emperor. So your leader must be present on a territory to build a development there. That is a pretty drastic departure from how other leaders play, where other leaders you don't have to be present on the space in order to build a development there. And I apologize if you hear my cats. I have locked them out of this room so that I can actually, they would get up here and destroy this in a minute if I let them in the room. So apologies if you hear them a little bit. I think let's go ahead and pick our edicts. We're going to play on normal difficulty in a short game, which is 2 partial edicts. And so here's the partial edict side, the empty hourglass. You can see the full hourglass is the full edict. And we're going to draw 1 more than we need and then pick which 2 that we're going to actually face. So I'll take the top 3. We'll look at these here. Debt crisis. Start with 2 loans in your deck and 2 extra gold. Ooh. So that would be doubling down on my plan already, which is to be highly leveraged. I don't like the thought of that. I'm trying to decide if that plays into my strategy or against it, because I kind of want as many loans in my deck as possible. But then again, like I want as many loans available as I can have in order to get the money from them and not have extra with not a lot to show for it. So I'm trying to decide if that actually plays to my strengths, because I can pay off a loan for cheaper. Okay, let's look what else we got. The Aqua Julia. Build 2 developments without using a card's boosted action. I don't mind that. And it wants you to spend water on it. Just trying to think of if I can see at the outset if that's gonna be harder or easier. Virtuous Emperor, max out at least 2 of your leader's bonus tracks, or have 3 bonus tracks at level 4. Have at least 6 advanced attributes in your deck at game end. That one's a little scary to me, because I could to play to her strengths. I think Livia is going to want to be selling off those advanced attributes, so I think by necessity we're going to avoid this one. So I'll set that aside, and we'll be facing the debt crisis and the Aqua Julia. So start with 2 loans in your deck and 2 extra gold. So we'll start with the 5 gold, and I'll shuffle in these 2 loans. All right. In terms of stats, Livia is fairly standard. Her stability track is the bonus unlock. So in terms of trade tokens, she's fine, because we start with 2 trade tokens like the normal leaders would, but her stability track is a little bit less value, so I'm not going to be taxing much because I don't want to get strife in my deck, because my festival actions are going to be less potent. And I'm trying to look, what is she good at? She's good at movement, which is actually, we're going to really rely on that because we're going to be running around a little bit more than other leaders because we have to be present in order to build developments. So hopefully I remember to do that. And I'm going to be on the lookout eventually for water and gold and right, so after setup, the debt crisis doesn't do anything else to us other than that heavier gold burden because we're going to have to be paying that off. And then the Aqua Julia, build 2 developments without using a card's boosted action. So I'm going to more or less forget about these until I get a gold engine going. I've actually talked to a lot of people about, when you're learning the game, it feels a little overwhelming because you're like, I have all of these different options for what I could do. And it's like, how do I get from A to B? And your end goal is obviously to complete your edicts and get glory points. But where I would start is I just try to build developments early. So I look at the market, I look what's in my hand, and I look at the cheaper developments and see, can I get 1 or 2 built in the first couple of turns? And then I just try to work with what I've got. So, and then after that, then I start focusing on building a gold engine. Can I get developments out that can generate this resource, convert it in an efficient way to that resource, and convert that to gold? And once I get that going and I have an engine that my leader can run around a few developments and activate them every turn to generate gold at least every other turn, that can then fund the rest of my... Then hopefully I have the margin to quit taking out loans or relying on capital actions to get my funding, and instead I'm making my own gold, and then I can start being able to afford these advanced attributes, which can then help me to better afford, or that can set me up to be in a position to not only build the level 1 attributes, but you're going to need to buy these advanced attributes in order to get your level 2 developments built. So that's the general arc of what we're looking at. So why don't we get started? Our hand size is 5. Let's see what we got in our hand. Discipline, which is our flexible card, but it's a little better at military. Chariot is technology, gives us some extra movement, which I like to use it for. Show of Force is more military, but also industry. Orator, culture or draw a card, and then more culture and more technology. So actually a fairly synergistic hand here. I'm going to scope out the territories nearby. I'm seeing water right here, which I said I wasn't going to worry about my edicts until like the 3rd act of the game, but I can't really help paying attention to that. So there's a water trade agreement here. There's iron. This is a good spot because I typically tend not to build northward unless I'm playing like Trajan, who really needs to be defeating enemies. Okay, I'm going to look what's in the market. This is going cheapest development to most expensive. We've got the sculpture, which only costs 3 culture. That is probably a good one to look at. It produces stone. And then whenever I gain stone or iron, this can magnify that effect and get me, and I'm looking at that water specifically per that edict. So we'll consider that. And then there's a fountain. Doesn't produce anything. -2 to the cost of buying an advanced attribute. This is going to be a really important one for us because we're going to be buying up advanced attributes. And then here, pay 1 water to gain 3 stone. Oh my goodness. So we have... I can see it now. We're going to hopefully get both of these built fairly cheap, and we have culture in our hand. I probably won't be able to do both on this turn, but we'll see. These two play into each other really well because the sculpture can produce stone for us. But what I'm really excited about is using this to gain water efficiently, and then using this to magnify that water into stone, which when we gain this stone, that's when we could use this magnification ability. So it's not going to be like an every turn thing, but you can see how these are going to bounce off of each other. So I'm really liking that, and plus we have this synergy with us here. So let's start with the cheaper one. This is 1 gold. That's an easy enough decision. So we'll buy this. We need to get to 3 culture. And I'm also looking at, this says build 2 developments without using a card's boosted action. We happen to have 2 cards that provide culture 2 on the top half, the basic action. I think what I'm going to do is try to do both. So we're going to move using this. If you play this card for movement, +1 movement. So our movement stat is 2. And so by default, we get 3 with this card. So we got 3 movement to work with. Why don't we go over here? Now we're down to 2 movement. We'll play this card to generate 2 culture. And then I'm going to play this guy face down for an additional culture. And that is good enough for that 3 culture cost here, which we're going to build right there. And I'm going to take my goodies right away, so I get 2 glory points and 1 stability. I don't really need stability. I'm not going to focus on trade tokens. I'm not going to focus on festival actions, so that's a little bit of a wasted benefit, but the development is good enough that I'm excited about it. Then, since I'm there, I'm going to drop an influence token. And actually, I'm going to, just to make things neater and slide around less, I'm going to make a discard pile of territories over there. Do I want to have... Yeah, why not? I'm going to say, just so I don't have to run back there in the future, before I left the capital, I dropped an influence token there, and I'm going to take 2 loans, which is actually going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we only have 6 left in the deck because we started with 2 extra. But we're going to get 4 gold from that, so that we're back up to 8. Cool. And then we have 2 movement left, so I'm going to spend another 1 to go here. And these enemies would have flipped face up. I don't really have aspirations to go conquering, but we'll flip those up so we can see. And then, wow, this is going to be a huge first turn, because I'm going to go ahead and buy this one for 2 gold. That goes into my hand. That's another 3 culture. So I'm going to generate 2 from here, and 1 by playing this face down. And that's good enough to build this guy. Wow. Okay. I honestly can't think of a better first turn for Livia. So believe it or not, we've already completed the top half, turn 1 of building developments without a boosted action. Wow. So watch this blow back on me when I somehow manage to lose this game. Okay, now I'm trying to think of the best sequencing for these two actions. So I don't have a way to get water yet, because this one says once per turn pay 1 water to gain 3 stone. But I don't have any water to do that. And I need to gain stone. So that's going to be really good, but I need to kickstart this at some point. I need water from something. So I think next turn I am going to try to run over to here and get a water, some passive water coming in. I like that thought. That's funny. So these are really going to bounce well off of each other, but I need just 1 water resource to get it started. Oh, that's funny. So I'm in a bit of a catch-22 at the moment. What I will do is, do I want to use this for its production action? I think I'm going to leave that because I want to head this way and get a free stone. This is outside of this is during the cleanup phase, so it's not going to trigger that. But that's going to be the end of my turn. I used my last movement to go right there. I'm going to gain that stone. I'm going to discard all of these cards I played, which was my whole hand. I'll take this token back. What a first turn. We'll fill in the market here. We've got a couple more culture developments. I'm going to advance the turn marker. I think I failed to adjust my bonus. I did. So we're up to 2, or I advanced it 1 space on our stability track. We get another trade token, and got to take our 2 glory points. So we're up to 4. What a first turn. So we'll draw our hand size up to 5. There's one of our loans. I think I'm just going to ignore that for now, so I'm going to discard that. What else do we have? Yeah, fortunately that clogged our hand a little bit. So we've got more military, a resource generation tool here, and then military on the bottom. There's some industry, which we have industry here, and then technology and military. I think we can get there, because what I really want is to get that trade token, that trade agreement going. So we're going to move with something. I think we'll move with this one. So that's 1, 2. Spent them both. You have to be present. All leaders have to be present to get trade tokens, not just Livia, or to get trade agreements. So yeah, I definitely want to get that 6 if I can, and that's all I'm going to be able to do. So we'll power this up. We don't have any food. I'll tilt it to remember I powered it up. I'm going to spend gold to power that, to boost it. And then I'm going to have to play these 2 face down to get me to 6. That was a lot of effort. However, I get a water right away. And then every turn, I mean, it's kind of too bad because I'm already halfway through. I like to get trade agreements on the first turn of a round because that maximizes the number of resources you get from it. But we're not too deep into the round, I guess. So I took my water. Now we can start playing this little mini game over here. Pay 1 water to gain 3 stone as a WoW influence action. I don't even need to spend that token, so I don't even have to run over there every time. I am going to have to run over here, but so I'm going to do that. Spend 1 water, gain 3 stone, so that takes us from 1 stone to 4. And now gain 2 food or 2 water when you receive any stone or iron. Well, we just received some stone, so I'm going to spend that. That's a win spend action to give myself 2 water. Okay, so there's our water engine going. That's going to help us pay for this Aqua Julia. And yeah, hopefully we'll be generating enough of this other stuff too that I can just start exchanging that for gold. And that's my turn. So we'll do cleanup. This one comes off. And unfortunately, it's going to be quite a lot of effort for me to... I'm going to have to run over here every time and influence that to run this little engine. And I'm kind of wishing now that I see that I would have flip-flopped the positions of those two. But that is what it is. So what I would like to do is start getting some capacity bonus so that I can get my movement up so that it's not so tedious to run. It's not so limiting to run all over. To run this engine and then be present for when I'm building developments. So that's cleanup. Or let's continue with cleanup. And actually, I think that's it because don't need to fill the market. Right. So, and when do trade agreements? Pretty sure it's at the start of your turn. So we get to take that now. That's our 1 water from this. Got to make sure I advance that during cleanup. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hand size is still 5. We've got 3 cards left in our deck. And one of those cards is going to be one of the loans we took. Okay. Here's her Conspiracies card. You must keep this card in your hand unless you play it for its boosted effect. While it's in your hand, you must have the culture you generate. I'm glad we got those 2 built before we drew this card. The boosted action. This must be the first card you play this turn. Ignore the basic action of this card. Cards played for movement this turn provide -1 movement. It's a little bit annoying that this is Livia's negative card, and we happen to need every ounce of water that we can get to help pay for that Aqua Julia. But water is cheaper than gold, so I am going to do this boosted action to get this out of my hand. It's got to be the first card we play, and then we have to remember, man, to have the movement that we generate. That's nasty. Because now our movement is just 1. Okay, that's too bad. Okay. I'm looking for stability. This is the only one with stability. And that's pretty deep in the market over here. That's in that 4th slot. So if I have any cards left over, like this Senator, I'm going to cycle cards. We'll see. I should be able to. So this is going to be a movement turn, I think. Play that one for movement to get me here. And I don't think I'm going to take loans. Maybe. You know what? Who knows how often I'm going to be there. So I'm going to drop a token there. And then we will slowly work our way over there. We're here. I'll drop my final token there. Spend that to get me another 2 loans. I know. This was the plan, though, remember? So we're up to 9 gold. Did I spend the water to play this? I believe I did. Did I? I think I did. I hate to cheat. Hopefully I didn't cheat there, but I'm pretty sure I had 3 water. Oh, do I? I can't remember. I'm going to double pay just in case. So I'm going to spend that to power that up. I'd rather play on the safe side and not accidentally cheat. So that powers that up. This is pay 1 water to gain 3 stone. I will do that. So that's 1 water. We go from 4 stone to 7 stone. Whoops, I don't have to exhaust that to do that. That's a while influence action, but this one I do have to exhaust. So that gets me 2 water because we gained some stone. I think I'll cash this in right away. So 1, 2, 3, 4 to get me 1 gold. I have plenty of gold. So we should start going shopping here. I don't want my deck to get too thick that the turn tracker is going to be a problem, but we'll worry about that later. What I am going to do is I'm going to play these cards to cycle cards. We have plenty of stone, so I think I want to make this as cheap as possible for myself. So let's just do that. We're going to play this one for its boosted action of 4 industry. So I'm going to pay that stone to do that. And then here, I'm going to play this for its basic action. We get the free cycle plus another 2 industry. So I'm going to cycle this one because that's the most expensive to cycle. And then we generated 4, 5, 6 industry. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And I get to cycle 2 more. Or I have 2 more to cycle with. We'll do this one. Okay. Cool. At least we got to discard that one. Clean up over here. Should I buy anything? Maybe banking. This is going to require culture. This is the only card that has culture. So we are going to spend this. That's a good idea. So if we spend this, we get a discount of 2 on buying an advanced attribute. So we're going to do that. This normally would cost 4. It's going to cost us 2 instead. So that goes on top of our deck. Okay. Now it's cleanup. Advance a turn marker. Take our tokens back. Draw our 4 cards. Clean up the market. And we're good to go. I'm going to take my water from my trade agreement there. Right, so our goal this turn, we know going in, is to generate, or to buy this development here. And solely for the stability. We got to get our stability stat up. We have plenty of gold to do all of this. Here's a loan. I'm going to drop an influence token there right away. That's kind of a no-brainer. And we were lucky enough to draw some culture. Along with our copper mines. This is the first time we've seen this, so this is one of Livia's special cards. Industry 3, or spend up to 4 industry, gaining 1 iron per industry so spent. Boosted action, Industry 5, gain 1 gold for each development your leader moves into this turn that produces industry. So this I haven't leaned into very well. Maybe we'll get to that as we build out our empire here. Okay, we want to build that Papina, however you say that. And we should have the culture to do it. So why don't we go south here? I don't expect to need to drop a token on there very often. So I'm not going to worry about it being far away from the capital. So that's the direction we'll move. Can't play loans for movement, but you know what so what I'm trying to decide is I could run over to the capital, and remember with Livia's advanced rule, I need to spend an influence token at the capital in order to sell. Well, no. No, her status and power ability, once a turn you may pay off a loan in your hand for 2 gold or discard for 3 gold. We're just going to do that. So here's one in our hand. We're going to spend 2 gold to do that. Takes us down to 6. Great. I was confusing myself thinking I needed to be at the capital to do that, and I didn't. It's her waste not ability that the advanced variant forces you to be at the capital to do. So we dropped a token there. We're going to move in that direction, and we have just enough cards to do so. So there's our 2 movement. And I'll adjust that down to 0. We'll go ahead and buy this card for 1 gold. On our way by, we would have influenced that. It's a solo game, so I can retcon that. And we'll see if we can build this. So 7 culture. Interesting. Oh, this is cool. So we're going to play the boosted action here. And we don't even need that card. That's interesting. Wow. So this provides culture 4, gain +2 culture for every influenced development that provides stability. We just so happen, oh man, this is a great card for us. We just so happen to have 2 cards that provide stability that are currently influenced. So that is another 4 culture. So just by playing this for its boosted action, we'll spend the water to do so. This generated 8 culture for us. That's huge. So that's plenty. That gets us that development. And this is in our hand, but let's get acquainted with what this gives us now. It produces water or food, which is really cool because we have like a water-based engine here, and we have a water edict. The downside is when you influence it, you have to pay a bribe of 1 gold. So we're not going to spend this for its production action very often. What we really liked about this was, again, the 2 capacity, which is going to up our movement stat. And movement is always a premium with Livia because she needs to be present to build developments. This gambling is the interesting one, though. Whenever you gain any amount of gold, pay 2 same type resources to gain +1 gold. So for newer players to Fate of an Empire, one of the things that you can keep in mind is you're just always trying to gain an edge on the default exchange of 4 gold or 4 resources to 1 gold. So if you look in the rulebook, the exchange action is exchange any same type resources. So 4 stone, 4 food, 4 water, or 4 iron. You exchange 4 same type resources, and that gets you 1 gold. So that's like the normal default exchange rate. And your developments, the way I see it, it's a battle to try to improve the efficiency of that exchange rate. So if you can do anything that helps you to convert those resources into gold more efficiently than that, that's kind of the goal by mid-game, is to have a decent gold engine going. What this does is it effectively makes your exchange rate 2 instead of 4, with the stipulation that you have to have just earned gold another way. The downside of that is we only have 3 influence tokens right now. We can improve that with our wisdom track here. So leaving 1 on there is actually fairly penalizing because I'm hoping to build a few more. But we're going to influence that, and I have to pay 1 gold to do so, but I'm hoping to just leave it on there. We'll see if that pans out like I'm hoping. We haven't gained our stuff yet, so we're going to go up to 2. We're going to go up 2 spaces on our capacity track here, and that changes our movement stat up to 3. 1 more and we'd be up to 4, and then I'd be really comfortable if we got that far. And what else? We got to get our 3 glory points. We're up to 7. Cool. Now we can run our little engine here. So once per turn, pay 1 gold to gain 3 stone. I will do that. Or 1 water, sorry, to gain 3 stone. So now we're up to 5 stone. We gained stone, so I'm going to use this when spend action again to key off of that and gain 2 water. And then, just for funsies, we're going to do an exchange action, take this 5 down to 1. So that's 4 stone. We're just doing a normal default exchange action to get 1 gold here. But per the Papana ability here, whenever you gain any amount of gold, pay 2 same type resources to gain an extra gold. So we're going to spend 2 of our water, so 2 same type resources to get an extra gold. So we're back up to 6 gold. Man, if we're lucky, we might not have to take out another loan, because this is a pretty efficient engine. Those are just 3 level 1 developments, and we're humming pretty good so far. I'm going to want advanced attributes for one to... I'm going to play this for movement. Sorry, I'm thinking about multiple things at once. I'm going to play this for movement to take me back to here so that I'm there at the start of my next turn. Anyway, I can't remember what I was talking about, but just 3 level 1 developments, and it's a pretty tight engine there. That's what I was discussing, was whether we want to buy any of these advanced attributes, because I want to... we're fairly diluted with loans in here. Excuse me. So it would be nice to have some advanced attributes to compensate for that. I might hold off, though, because it's hard to know what to buy, because we're going to be washing the market after this round anyway, after this turn. So, okay, I'm going to end my turn. We'll do cleanup. That's our whole deck. And we'll reset the turn marker. We'll advance the round marker. We will cycle the market and see what comes out. We haven't unlocked level 2 developments. That happens either in round 3 or once we get 5 developments built. So we can earn it early if things were to go well. And okay, I advanced that. We'll take these back. We'll flip our trade token there. We still get the benefit of it this round, and then after this round it expires completely. We'll go ahead and shuffle our deck, and I think that takes care of round cleanup. So we're into round 2 of 3. We only have 3 developments built, and 2 of those happen on the first turn. But I really like where we're at. We have a really efficient engine going. I like the direction here, and we... Whoops, that didn't do anything. We might be able to get away without taking additional loans. And the ones that we do have, we can pay off efficiently, maybe even this round. This could turn out really well. I hate to speak too soon, but things are going well. And I'm also seeing one of the best culture generating cards in the game, which is the Bathhouse. And I have the benefit of knowing these decks inside and out, so I also happen to know that some of the highest point level 2 developments, if we're really going for score in that last round, are in required culture for payment. So I'm thinking of, I think the Coliseum, maybe even the Circus Maximus, those really high point developments tend to be culture. So we'll take our water from our trade agreement, and without even thinking or even seeing my hand, I'm going to drop my influence token there, and we'll see what we got. Got a loan. We got our conspiracies card. I just am always anxious to get this out of my hand, even though it's going to affect my movement this turn. We've got a good engine, so maybe I'm just going to go ahead and make this an engine turn. So we'll do that. We'll spend 1 water there. Should we pay this loan off? Once a turn, you may pay off a loan in your hand for 2 gold. I think so. I'm going to pay that off. I don't want to see it next round. So we're down to 3. Now I have to also remember I've got to pay for the debt crisis over here. So I can't discount that. But somebody help me remember our movement is halved this turn because of the conspiracies card. And I know I'm going to run this engine, but I'm going to take a peek at what's available over here. Oh, look at this guy. So the oxen helps allows you to trash loans. That is quite tempting. We need advanced attributes anyway, so I might buy that this turn. We'll see how it goes. I'm seriously looking at this bathhouse though, so I don't think I'm gonna move. What I might do is keep this physician, because I'm probably gonna buy the bathhouse. In which case, man, I'm kind of disappointed at what's out here. So I'm looking at I'm mainly looking at the bonus provisions here. What I really want is more capacity and more wisdom. This fountain provides wisdom, so that might be worth it. Okay, let's just run this. Once a turn, pay a water to get 3 stone. So we're up to 4 stone. Whenever you gain stone, gain 2 water. Don't mind if I do. And I'm going to play this slow. We'll go ahead and... Oh, actually, I don't need to cycle very much, do I? Yeah, let's do this. We're going to play this to generate Industry 2, and that is because I want to cycle... Play this face down for Industry 3. We're going to cycle this guy out to make things cheaper next turn. This guy's not going to get any cheaper, so because it's still 2 gold whether you're here or there. So I'm going to go ahead and buy that for, oh shucks. I'm not going to buy that. I'm going to save that. Okay, I'm going to hang on to Physician. I think I'm going to call it quits on my turn there, so discard these. Take this token back. Fill in the market here. And draw up our hand. Okay, got 2 physicians. I'm going to take my free water from my trade agreement. Drop a token right here. Okay, I'm too excited about my engine and I got to keep building stuff. We have to hit 19 glory points, so you add up the glory points on your 2 cards in normal difficulty on the short play mode. So we need to hit 19, and we're currently at 7, and then we have some negative in our deck with those loans, but I'm expecting to get rid of those without too much trouble the way things are going. So right, I want to build something. I'm getting itchy. I want to build something. I want to build that fountain because I want that wisdom. So we're going to do that. But it's expensive. This guy gets us lots of industry, so darn it, I'm going to be patient. I'm going to play that for its boosted action. Powered up with stone. That gets me industry 5. So I'm going to get rid of some of these. I want that power. I don't want this. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So we'll cycle those right away. And we'll buy that fountain next turn. And I think we're gonna... What do we want? I'm gonna buy this bathhouse, but I'm gonna... No, we're gonna run this engine first. So pay 1 water to get 3 stone. So let's pay that. That gets us up to 6 stone. Gonna exhaust this one to get our additional 2 water. And then I'm gonna cash in 4 of this stone. I think, yeah. Cash in for that stone as an exchange action to get me another gold. And then, since I just gained gold, I can activate this ability to pay another 2 of something. I'm going to pay 2 water to gain an additional gold. So that's not going to be an every turn engine, but that is really working for us for what we're doing right now. And I did all that so that I could expend this one here. So the Muse ability, -2 to the cost of buying an advanced attribute to a minimum of 1. So I'm going to exhaust that and get the discount on the bathhouse here, which was in the 3 space. -2 to that is 1, so we're spending just 1 gold to do that. And that goes on top of our deck. And I dropped it. So what else can I do on this turn? I might have to sit tight. Okay. Shucks. I know I'm going to draw into the bathhouse, so... Alright, I'm going to call that the end of my turn. I think I'm 2 turns in now. I think I forgot to update that. So this is our hand. We'll draw up to our hand of 5. We'll take these back. And fill in the market. That's better. That fountain's a lot cheaper now. Oops. Okay, I like this. The barracks came out, and I would like to get a bigger hand size, so we're looking strongly at that one. Alright, start of my turn. I get a free water from my trade agreement. Take a sip of water here. Drop a token here. I'm going to play my chariot for movement, which gets me 3 movement. Actually, no, 4 movement. Yay! Go here for 1 of them. So now we're back down to 3. And drop my last token there. I like that engine. It's working, so I'm not going to change now. I'm going to spend 2 gold to buy the fountain. And all I need is 3... culture. I'm looking ahead. I'm going to need military to build that barracks, so I'm going to go ahead and just play both of these physicians. It's a little overkill. And build this, but where do I want to build it? Let's look at these abilities. So I was looking mostly at that, but if adjacent to a development that produces water, you can pay food to gain water. I don't... Oh, I do have one that produces water. Over here. I'm never using it because it's expensive, but it doesn't say you need to generate water. It says it just has to produce water. So I can convert gold into just lots of water, which is so appealing. So what I'm... sorry, gold. Food into lots of water. So I either need a food trade agreement at some point, or I need to get a development that generates me food. I'd rather have the passive income. The problem is the two food generating trade agreements. One's over here and one's over here. So I'm going to have to somehow zip way over here and get this trade agreement. And then I can start running this. But that's going to be a good plan. I like it. So we bought this. We're going to build it for 3. We already paid our culture. I haven't moved there yet. So I need 2 more movement for that. So we're down to 1. There and there. And we're going to go ahead and build the fountain. And so I don't forget to take things, we're going to increase our wisdom. We don't unlock a new token yet, but we're 1 step closer. We get the 2 glory points. I think I forgot to advance this turn marker again. You guys can tell me if I'm wrong. It's easy for me, apparently, to forget to do this game. Right, took the glory points. And I don't have any tokens to play there. But it would be nice to put one there. I am going to put one there. I'm going to spend it on the Papina and generate, I guess, food. So that next turn I can get that back. Because this, you can't see it from there, but this provides, or it produces 3 technology, and that's going to help me when I run over to get that food trade agreement. So I would like a token for that. Here we have, we're going to run our little engine like we do. So pay 1 water to gain 3 stone. So we're up to 5 stone. And then we received stone, so we get an extra 2 water. I'm not going to run the Papina because I spent that, but that's okay for now. And I think we'll end our turn unless I want to buy. Do I want to get greedy and try for this next turn? There's no military out here, so maybe I can spend... Oh, it seems a waste because this can generate, well, actually, no. Pay up to 3 water, gain 5 industry for each so spent. That is nuts. So we're going to cycle. We're going to go on a cycle party here and see if we can get some military cards to come out. Wow. Yeah, that's a good card. So we spend that 1 water to power that up. It says spend up to 3 water. Yeah, so we're going to spend 2 water. So that gets us 10 industry, which is 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, wait. 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9. Oh, 10. How about that for clearing the board? Okay, that's literally all I can do on my turn. So we'll do cleanup here. We didn't play that card. So we'll draw back up to 5. We'll advance the turn marker. I'm not going to forget to do that this time. There's some military. There's more. Okay. Take a sip of water here. Okay, that was a lot because a lot came out, but we'll take our trade agreement here before we do anything else. Forgot to take these back last turn. Okay. Right. So I have 2, I don't know if they're competing goals, but I have 2 goals right now. One of them is to get at least the barracks out so I can increase my hand size. I would love to also get the armamentarium out to increase it even more. And I also, in order to maximize this development over here, I also want to run way over here and spend the technology to get that up and running. So what do we got here? So we do have this, and the interesting thing here is it's technology or military. And these require military. So what I'll probably do is spend these on technology. And the question is, do I need to take a detour to run my engine to get a little bit more gold before I do that? I don't think so. I think let's just run all the way over there. Yeah, so I'm going to drop a token here, which I remember planning for, now that I see that. And it's going to take us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movement, which means 2 cards played for movement. And that's going to be those 2. So that's 3 apiece. So that gets me 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was just going to see if I could get over there by way of the sculpture, but it doesn't look like that's going to work. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of my 6. So we'll adjust these down. Now I'm here. I'm going to... This one produces 3 technology, so there's 3 of my 6 and 4, 5, and I'll just play this one for 6. That was a lot of work, but we get food right away. And this says once per turn, pay 1 water to get 3 stone. I can do that even though I don't have the sculpture to ping off of it. I'm going to do that anyway. 1, 2, 3. And I think I'm only going to cash that in. I'm going to exchange that last minute when I need to. Do we pay off this loan is the next question on my mind. I don't think so, because I want to buy stuff. So I might just discard this loan to get rid of it from my hand and see if I can get a couple more turns in before the round ends. Right, so we did that. And now I want to buy stuff. So I want to set myself up to build at least the barracks next turn. So let's look here. That's going to cost me 2. I don't have to worry about that till next turn, and I can run these beforehand, so I can make that money. I really want this card. I'm going to spend this for a discount and buy something. Yeah, this one doesn't have much synergy with me, but that one does. So I'm going to take advantage of this and spend this for its Muse ability to get the discount. And that's going to discount that from 3 to 1. So I spent 1, 2, 3. That's all of my gold to get these 2 cards. They're going to go on top of my deck. All right, let's clean up for our turn. Discard these. Take these tokens back. We have all of our tokens back in hand. We'll advance the turn marker. So this next turn will be our last turn for the round. Nothing to clean up there. And we'll draw our hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I played way too deliberately, and we've been buying cards, and we took a bunch of loans. So we have 6 cards that we're not seeing this round, which is not efficient. That's part of the reason I want this bigger hand size, because I know with Livia you're going to have a big deck because you're going to be buying cards, you're going to have lots of loans. So a big hand size can help counteract that a little bit. But yeah, if you're playing perfectly optimally, this turn track and your deck are going to run out at exactly the same time. If one or the other is pushing you into the end of the round, you could be playing more efficiently, theoretically. Okay, I think I was jabbering and I forgot if I took these. I don't think I took these. So I get my 1 water from there and my 1 food from there. From my trade agreements? Okay. Look at, we've built all culture. That's interesting. Usually it's not so monochromatic in my empire, but we've built all culture-related developments so far. Interesting. Right, so we want a bigger hand size, so we want the barracks. We also now have things going on that require us to have a little bit of food. One of them is this card, where we can boost this with paying food, and one of them is going to be this card. But you know what? We also have a food trade agreement, so I'm not going to worry about that. I think that trade agreement, because that's going to last through the end of the game now, because next round is the last round. So I think getting 1 food per turn is going to fuel those enough. So I don't need to worry about that. Okay, that was a good thought, but I don't need to worry about that. What I do need to worry about is whether I'm going to run back over here and spend cards doing that in order to... You know what? I do need to do that because I don't have enough money to do things. So... Right. I'm going to spend the Senator for movement. Or play it for movement. And I think also discipline. So that's 6. Get me over here somehow. My biggest gold engines are probably these 2. Actually, right now it's these 2. It'd be nice to hit all 3, but I don't know if I'll have that luxury. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. Okay, we're going to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, no. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to backtrack to right there because we might build right there. That's what I want. So these are at 0 now. We spent all our movement, and I think we're going to have just enough to do this. So that means we dropped. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I crossed this one and this one. I'm going to count on this to get me some gold, and I'm going to do an exchange. Actually, I'm going to do 2 exchange actions on this stone. So I have 8 stone. Take that down to 0 to get me 2 gold, and then once a turn, pay a water to gain 3 stone. Pay 1 water, so there's 3 stone there, and then this says if adjacent to a development, this reflect ability. If adjacent to a development that produces water, this one produces water, up to twice per turn you may pay 1 food to gain 3 water. So we have food thanks to our trade agreement over here. So we pay the food and we gain 3 water. So we're up to 4 water. Man, I love that because now we can start paying that down, which we might actually... I'm not going to pay it down yet. I'm going to pay down my debt at the last minute. So it's a little risky, but who knows what we're going to want that capital for in the meantime. So I'm going to hang on to my money as long as I can. And the beauty of this is I don't even have to exhaust either of those tokens to do that. Those are both when or while influenced abilities. Cool. Right, so my plan was I wanted to buy this. So we're going to do that. We're going to buy that for 2 gold. That's all of our gold. And we need 7 military to get there. Let's see what that's going to take. We got some good cards. We don't have any iron, but we've got 2 food sitting out there. So this could get us military 5. Yeah, so we either need to pay a food or an iron, and we don't have an iron. So we're going to power this up for military 5 and play this for its basic action of military 3, and that is 8. So we got to pay the food. So that powers that up. Basic action there. That's good enough to build this. I think I'm gonna just discard that loan. I don't think we can do much else. We're out of gold. So we'll go ahead and build this. And we'll update our stats. This is what I really wanted to happen. Now we have a hand size of 6 because our power bonus goes up. And we get 4 victory points. Glory points. We're up to 13. I think we're going to be totally fine on that front. Actually, I think we're doing really well. It's just going to be being diligent about paying those down. I should have played on a harder difficulty level, apparently. But no, we had such a good synergistic start, and we capitalized on it. So, let's see. That's cleanup. That knocks us into the end of the round. So we'll do round cleanup. Which means watch the markets. Oh, there's another good culture generator. All right, so since we're into round 3, and there's a nice reminder on the board here, we can deal from the level 2 development deck. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to go all in and try to build the big ones. Amphitheater, Temple, the Forum, Circus Maximus, and the Castra. The Amphitheater notably requires culture. And we'll shuffle our deck. This trade agreement expires. This trade agreement is waning, but it doesn't matter. This is the last round of the game, so that's not going to go away on us. I'm not feeling like I need to worry too much about... I just want to get developments up. I want to start getting glory points built up, and I want to start paying these off. So unless there's developments that can... Because some of these level 2 developments really do have some crazy, powerful like resource conversion, gold generating abilities. So I might lean into that a little bit because it's going to take me 3 turns a piece to pay those off, because you can only pay off one stage of an edict, of these multi-stage edicts. You can only pay off one stage of each edict card per turn. So we have to start thinking about those now. So I need to make a lot of gold, and I need to make a lot of water, and I'm confident in the water with the shenanigans we have going on here. But if I can find, and it's not like we're done on glory points because we still have some loans in our deck. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 4 loans remaining in our deck. It'd be nice to pay those off, but I can't prioritize that because this is a loss condition here if I don't pay that debt crisis down. So let's, because we're at 19, we need 19 glory points. We're at 13. Each of these loans is -3. It could be tight yet. Here I'm getting cocky, but it could be really close. We'll see. I'm peeking at the level 2 developments over here. What can get me gold? There's a powerful influencing ability. That one gets iron. That one gets movement. Here we go. Here's Circus Maximus. Pay 2 stone to get 1 gold. Actually, we have a bit of an incidental stone engine between with this card. So I'm really eyeballing that Circus Maximus. I would also love to get more wisdom and capacity, but what does this give us? The Circus Maximus would give us 1 more capacity, which would actually be good enough to get us into the 4 movement territory. So this is priority number 1. However, I would love to get at least 1 more wisdom to get another influence token so I can actually use all of these. And this is the only wisdom out there at the moment. So this is the temple. Okay, so those are our two priorities. I'm going to, I don't know, slide those to the center a little bit so I remember. Those are our two priorities, the temple and the Circus Maximus. Let's see if we can do it. I'm going to give these a good shuffle. Got to remember now our hand size is 6. All right. Take our food from our trade agreement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And got to remember to pay these down. Okay, let's see if we can do it. Yeah, so that turns iron into gold, and we just have no iron production at all. Okay, so I suppose it makes sense to build the temple first. But if I happen to have a bunch of industry, I should cycle these to make that cheaper. But this requires technology, and this one requires industry. What do we have in our hand? One of our loans, which unfortunately we might just have to eat that. I think I'm just going to discard that. We can always pay it down from our discard pile later. There's industry and more industry. So the Circus Maximus takes industry 13. And we are not going to be close because this is industry 3 and 5, which is only 8. So the temple requires 11 technology. And we have 0 technology in our hand right now. But if we could buy these two. Okay, so I think the temple is going to get our top priority here. I'm going to kind of hang on to these. I know we need industry later, but I can buy some probably. So we're going to chance it and probably use these to cycle the market. For now, I would really like to get up there to my sculpture to make sure I get the resources coming to me that I deserve. So I think we're going to do public appearance here for movement. To 3 movement. There's 2 of it. And I might stay there so I can drop one there next turn. Okay, once a turn, pay a water to gain 3 stone. Then gain 2 water when you receive any stone. I will do that. And then up to twice per turn. Wow. Up to twice per turn, pay... I say wow like I didn't make this card. Up to twice per turn, you may pay 1 food to gain 3 water. Before I do that, I'm going to run an exchange action here to get 1 gold. Okay, so now that's 2 food for 6 water. So that takes us up to 7. I'm going to run another exchange action, so we're down to 3. It gets us another gold. And I wish I had enough influence token for that pop in there, because then we could get another gold. But good enough for now. I'm going to do an exchange action here. Now we have 3 gold. Man, that's hard work though, because we're doing it the old-fashioned way. I know we're not generating gold at a discount conversion rate. What we're doing is we have a magnified conversion rate for our resources, but we're still running that default 4-to-1 ratio on caching and resources for gold. And that's what I would like to improve with the Circus Maximus there. But that's at least 3 turns away, and I haven't. Come on, let me think here. I am going to do this. I'm going to pay off that first stage of the build the aqueduct just to get that out of the way. I can't afford to do the debt crisis yet. Okay, so we have 3 gold. I want to get this built, so I'm going to pay 2 here and then exhaust this for its ability to pay just 1 there. There's all 3 of our gold, and those are going to go on the top of our deck. And then the rest of these I think we're going to cycle the market with. So what am I looking for? I want technology, but I bought those, so I don't need to look for any more technology. And I want industry, so I'm gonna discard everything but industry here, and everything to get out of the way there. So what can we generate here? This would be 3, 6, 8. Can I generate 8? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna have to pay something. Right, I'm gonna have to pay a stone. So paying 1 stone powers this up to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Where are we gonna spend that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay. Cleanup. Advance turn marker. Take our influence back. Clean up our player area. Hand of 6. And these slide down. A couple of cool ones came out here. So the 2 that we're really after are now in good position here, and we have the Coliseum and the Pantheon, which is very exciting, if only from a thematic standpoint, but Coliseum is a good gold engine here. And also happens to be extremely, I think it's the highest point development in the game at it costs 19, generates 12 points. So that would be plenty to get us over the finish line. And it requires culture, which we're strong in anyway. I remember buying a lot of culture cards, but also I see a lot of blue in the market. So we just got to capitalize now. All right, we get our 1 food, which we're going to need. You can see we're running really thin on resources, which I guess is just a mark of efficiency. Hopefully that's a good way to spin that. And we happen to draw into some technology in addition to having purchased the technology last turn. So goal this turn is to build that temple, which there's no way around. I'm going to have to move. So I'll play the engineer here for movement. Our stat is still 3. Drop 1 here. There's 1. And where are we going to want to build this? Probably doesn't matter between these 2. So yeah, we'll just go here. Okay, so all we need is enough gold to buy that, which we don't have. So we'll do this right away. Once a turn, pay 1 water to gain 3 stone. When you receive any stone, gain 2 water. And then this is up to twice per turn, pay 1 food to gain 3 water. Right? Yeah. So there's our 1 food, but we really want that food to power these up. We can do that with just 1 food. So unfortunately, we're going to run ourselves dry here. I have to do an exchange action here to get us 1 gold. Spend that 1 gold to buy this temple. We need to generate 11 technology, which we can do. I'm going to spend a food to power that up for 7. We're out of food. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 with the basic actions. So that gets us that. I'm going to discard these right away. Now we have a temple. All right, we'll update our stats. We gain a stability and a wisdom. Thank goodness, finally another influence token. And then we get 5 glory points. That's 18 glory points. We're going to need more. We have to run out ahead of our loans a little bit. This is going to be tighter than I thought because I'm getting nervous about completing these edicts. I unfortunately am going to have to discard that loan because I need to draw the hand that I want. And I'm looking at, do I want to keep this? I think I'm going to play this for its ability to draw a card, see what that is. Right, that's a technology card. Technology and military, which we're not interested in at all. I see no technology. Well, there's 1 technology here, but I want the Circus Maximus is what I want. So can I sell this? I'm not at the capital, but I could sell this. So I'm going to hang on to it and end my turn. Advance the turn marker so I don't forget to do that. Take this token back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That hand size has really been helping. And we'll fill in the market. What do we got? The taberna, however you say it. That would have been good too, but that's way deep in the market. We're not going to worry too much about it. From our trade agreement, we get our 1 food, and that has been pivotal for us. What I want to happen is I want to build this. To do that, I'm going to need to buy industry, and I unfortunately, bad timing. I've got my, well, it was going to happen eventually. I've got my conspiracies card. Man. I'm going to just play that right away. Take my medicine, play it for its boosted action. And now our movement is cut in half, which I'm not happy about, but... Or, sorry, it's -1 movement, not cut in half. What have I... We didn't draw into any additional industry in the market. This is the only industry I see, which is Industry 6, which isn't bad. And I know I have some industry left in my deck. And we want to get to Industry 13 because to make it a good story, I want to have built the Circus Maximus. So 13 so I can get to 6. I don't know, that's going to be tight. I might have to cycle some more. Or do we try to build the Coliseum? For a better story. pay 2. I mean, it has the gold engine, similar gold engine to the Circus Maximus. Now the requirement is higher. I need 19, but it's culture. And I have maybe the best culture generating card in the game. Twice the number of water you have, which is, but I could spend a turn or two setting that up. But I don't have a turn or two because I gotta get, okay, I think we're gonna pivot. We're gonna build the Coliseum instead because that's what the cards seem to want to give us. We need money. I'm gonna go sell this. So let's play this for a movement. That's +1 movement, so that negates against the conspiracies card. So we get our normal movement stat of 3. So that's 1 of that 3. And remember, with Livia's advanced variant, I need to use Waste Not, I need to do it as a when spent action at the capital, which I'm going to do. So I'm going to trash this card to get 3 gold. That actually feels really nice. I need to hang on to this because I need it to generate the culture to buy the, or to build the Coliseum. And I could hang on to this and sell it next turn for more gold. So I'm going to move here with another one of our movement. And then I think I'm going to move back to the capital. So I move there to drop that. We'll run this little engine here. So pay a water to gain 3 stone. Okay. We are going to spend that to get the 2 water out of it. And then we're going to spend our 1 food to get 3 water out of that. Which I'm going to hang on to make the bathhouse uber powerful. Heck. I'm not there, but I could be there. I'm thinking if I could do it this turn. This costs 2. No, I can't do it this turn. I'm getting way too greedy. But what I could do is maybe buy one of these. I want this fur trader, but the... Okay. I'm going to spend this one to get that discount. I'm going to buy this card here for 1 gold. That's going to go on top of our deck, so I know we're drawing into some culture. And I want to be at the capital so I can sell this guy. So I'm going to discard this to no effect. Hang on to these 2 cards. That's going to end my turn. I think we can do it, you guys. So end of turn. Advance that. Clean up our player area here. I'm just going to make sure my phone isn't going to cut us off. We're good. We advanced the turn track already. Populate this. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that larger hand size has been doing wonders for us because we're going to get through our deck no problem. Take a sip of water here. Okay, we've got the cards we knew we were going to draw. So we want these 2 to build the Coliseum. First, I'm going to take this action and sell formation since it's an advanced attribute and get the 3 gold. Okay, that's nice. A little breathing room there. I think I have no choice but to spend that and start working on this edict. I don't know if we're going to make it. And I would like to be able to, I'm just going to ignore this loan. We're going to have to just take the hit, whatever it is. I can't remember if I gave I gave myself the points for that. We need these 2 cards. I would like to move, but I need to be able to move and then also get back around to a space where I can build something. So I think we can do it. Can these two cards get me to 19? Equal to twice the amount of water you currently have. I think we can do that if we run our little engines here. So 3 for this one, 3 movement for that one. 1, 2, 3, 4. A little bit wasteful, but we're there. Let's run these. Pay a water to gain 3 stone. Whoops, I must not have taken my trade agreement. I know that because we really need that. So we did this. We'll spend that to get the extra water, and then pay 1 food to gain 3 water. Now we're up to 9 water. Oh, that's beautiful. So we'll buy the Coliseum for 2. Takes us down to 1 gold. We need to generate 19 culture. The bathhouse, for its basic action, is going to get us twice the culture equal to our current water inventory, which is 9, so that's 18. And then we'll just play this card for its basic action, which is overkill. And have you ever built the Coliseum so easily? That is beautiful. So played both of these cards. And this is hopefully going to be the difference between winning and losing for us. Right, so we maxed out our stability to no benefit to us, but we do get an additional capacity, which takes our movement stat up to 4, and I'm happy about that. And we get 12 points. So 18, 28, 30. Up to 30 points. Okay. End the turn, advance the turn marker. So we have this turn, next turn. I think we have 3 turns left according to the turn track, but we have fewer than that left. Oh man, this is going to be tight. Because we have 2 stages on each of those. Well, before we ended the turn, we spent 3 water to complete this next stage of that. So, but I need this to not be... Oh no. I need this to not be my last turn. So I need to buy some cards. I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. I either need it to not be my last turn. Yeah, I need it to not be my last turn. So I need to be able to buy 2 cards. So I need to take... I think we're just going to be able to do it. So I need to take an exchange action here and an exchange action here to get me 2 gold. Now we have 3 gold by using this discount of 1, because it's a minimum of 1. I can buy these 2 cheapest, well, I could buy any of these. And I'm not sure it matters because I'm not going to be building, I'm just going to be running engines, so. Because this one will be 2, this one I'll take the discount on to get me down to 1, which spends my 3 gold. And those will go on top of my deck. And so, as long as we don't draw our last card, because that's what triggers end of round, is... Wow, that was so tight. we almost lost by running out of time. Or by running out of cards. Wow, okay. Whew. I didn't mean to fly so close to the sun there. So we'll advance it. I think I advanced the turn marker already. Hopefully I did that right. It doesn't matter because our limiter is going to be our deck anyway. So I'm not too worried about that. And the forum came out. But we're not looking at developments anymore. I think we're plenty good on glory points. And we'll draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have one card that saves us. We get our 1 food, which is going to be important to maximize our water. Wow, okay. Here's a loan that we're not going to be able to pay off, so I'm going to discard it right away. That's a bummer. Our movement stat is now 4, though, so let's just start moving stuff. Play that for 4 movement. Come on. Now I have a decision to make here. I think I want to do that. 1, 2, 3. Four. We'll find out if this is a bad idea or a good idea. What I'm thinking is I'm going to sell, let's say, the Mancio with her waste not ability for 3 gold. That seems like a better deal. We're going to run this, pay a water to get 3 stone. Okay, and then going to run this, pay a food to get 3 water. And if I don't spend any water, we're going to just have enough water, I think, next turn. Yikes. We're going to pay 2 gold to pay down this next level. So next turn, our final turn of the game, we need to spend 7 water here and 4 gold there. And I think we can do it. So there's a while influenced ability here. Oops, I forgot I need to pay 1 stone. There's a must action there. So vendors pay 2 stone or 2 iron to gain 1 gold. There's no cap on that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? I'm going to save that. I'm just going to get the 1 gold. We can do this. Oh, that was so close. Okay, I'm going to call it. That's end of my turn. Discard this. Take this back. And we'll advance the turn marker. That was only going to give us 2 more turns anyway. We didn't spend anything there. And we'll drop our next hand. So we have 4 cards here. We drew our last card, so that means this is our last turn of the game because it triggers end of round. And wow, okay, I can't believe how tight this was. So we're gonna, I think we can do this by just selling one of these cards. So I'm gonna drop a token here. We're gonna do waste not on that. We're gonna sell social event for 3 gold. Oh, it's beautiful. We're going to do this, pay 1 water to gain 3. Oh. No. Well, okay, so I would have gained this food. I forgot to do that. I'm going to spend that food to activate this one and gain 3 water. Takes us up to 7 water. we didn't even get the chance this turn to use the vendor's ability because we don't, first of all, we don't need to. We have 5 gold right now. So I'm going to spend 4 of that down to 1 gold to finish off the debt crisis. And then we have just enough water. We have 7 water. That'll go to 0 to pay that 7 water there. Wow, what a game. Man, that was fun. I knew it. I knew it was going to come back around on me. I was getting kind of arrogant thinking we had such a hot start that it was going to be easy, but I think, like, I'm pretty sure, we'll tally it up here, but I'm pretty sure we've won fairly easily in terms of, I'm going to advance that just for dramatic effect. So we had 1 more turn left there, but we're out of turns here. I think in terms of the glory point requirements and obviously these edicts, but like the glory point requirements, I think we're going to be fine on, but we'll tally it up. And, but yeah, we almost ran out of time. Wow. Wow, that was cool. More challenging than I thought after our first few rounds. We've got a cool little empire here. I like the look of it. A lot of blue out there. And just a little bit of a military presence and then some technology. But we built the Coliseum, which is cool. And we built a few other cool things. Some fountains and some sculpture. So we're very, very cultured empire. I'm just going to go look for loans here. All right, so we got 4 loans. Ugh, maybe I spoke too soon on the glory point requirement too. We need 11 plus 8. We need 19 glory points to win. We're sitting at 30 right now. Each of these loans reduces our score by 3. So 3 times 4 is 12. So 30, 20. Oh no. $19, $18. Oh no. So, oh no. Okay, so we're at 18 glory points after we take all of our loans out of our score. And we needed 19. So, okay, that's the way it goes. We couldn't have paid any of those loans. We had no more resources to cash in. I guess we could have done that to get 1 more gold. I'm trying to, woulda, coulda, shoulda here. But still, if I recall, I think I discarded. We could have made it if I'd have played a little smarter because with the status and power ability, she gets a discount. You can pay them down for 2 gold if you had them in your hand. I don't recall having any loans in my final hand, but all it would have taken was a little bit of foresight. That was poor play on my part because if we'd just hung on to 1 loan, because our problem was having not enough cards in the end. So if I would have hung on to one of those cards, so I didn't play that final round quite good enough. There were easily some decisions. I can look back and there are easily some decisions I could have made. One of them as simple as keeping a loan card in my hand. But as it stands, we lost, and we lost by 1 glory point. But at least we built the Coliseum. I'm going to call it a thematic win and a technical loss. So, but yeah, cool. That was fun regardless. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys.